With Memorial Day coming up in observance of Memorial Day this year, USAA is leading an effort asking Americans to offer a digital tribute to fallen military members by visiting poppyinmemory.com. And Demarcus Ware is here to tell us more about that and so much more as he joins us now. Demarcus, good morning.
Hey, what is up, man? I like the energy that you bring to the radio, man. Hey, this is what's up. I like this.
Yeah, well, it's all I like the energy you bring to your workouts. I keep looking at your workouts and thinking to myself, at some point, I'm actually going to work out. I don't want to rush right into where I'm eventually going to be, DeMarcus, but eventually I'm going to be there. Hey, you had some things, I don't know about pointed comments, but some great comments about Von Miller and having a little bit of an off year last year and about how he's ready to kind of reestablish himself. What does Von Miller need to do this year to really lead this football team back to playoff contention?
It's so crazy. Just talking with Vaughn, I think that one thing that he really trying to do is build a team around himself, right? Knowing that he's been guys where they kill him 100% of the time, so I told him, I said, if you can focus on everybody there around you, guess what? You're not going to get doubled as much. You're going to be a lot more effective. And I said that comes with leadership. And with leadership, if you can get all the guys to buy in before the season, then that's going to propel you into the player, into the defense that you want, into the team leader that you want to be. And he chewed that up and swallowed it. You know what I mean? And wanted to really live and be that guy. So I think that if he do that, like which we talked about, it'll be great.
Did you see any signs of his play declining last year?
I didn't see any of his play declining at all. It's just the way that teams are really just focusing on him. Once Chubb got hurt, everything was more of a fan. They're bringing that center, their guard, that tackle, putting the tight end over there. They're chipping him. If he goes to the right side, they bring that running back over there and chip him. I know exactly what that was like, especially in my younger years of being focused on. And then I just started thinking to myself, how can I make myself better? And that's where he's at right now, is just saying, hey, I need to get the guys better around me, and then I'll be able to get a lot more one-on-one and be effective.
What about Jurrell Casey? I know you've watched him, and I know you're very familiar with his game. What kind of addition is Jurrell Casey to this Broncos defense?
You know what? I think it's a missing part. I know that with Wolf gone, with Jurrell Casey coming in, he's one of those guys where I know that he can, plug the hole up, stop the run. But when you bring in a big guy like that can move the pocket, the quarterbacks, they can't step up, right? I mean, they're 5-step, 7-step drop. They can't do those easy 2-step quick hitches, those quick passes. And then that gives the opportunity for the guys like Vaughn and Chubb to get around the corner, to get to the quarterback. So with bringing that type of pressure from the middle, that's going to be very, very important and vital this season. And you can see that when it happens, those two monsters on the outside, they're hard to stop.
Busy with Demarcus Ware. Do you see a lot of similarities? Do you see the possibility of Vaughn and Chubb being what you and Vaughn were?
I think they can be a lot better. They're young. With Chubb, when I was up coaching him and Vaughn, Chubb was one of those guys where one thing I didn't have is as much power and size as Chubb, right? He was fast. He wasn't as fast as me, but he was stronger guy. And that's what you need on that right side to be able to push those big left tackles into, your left end, who is Vaughn. And I think that, with Chubb, he's rehabbing. He said he's ready from what I know. And I think that, just this year, those guys are going to come back a little bit more hungry, especially with this COVID-19, even though they're not practicing. This gives those guys a lot more time to rehab, get ready, get right mentally, and be able to focus and get dialed in.
One thing I think as offensive player, as an offensive player, you spend your whole career studying defensive players, right? So, like, I can't tell you exactly
Mm-hmm.
why a guy's great, but I can tell you when a guy's great, right? I'm like, that dude can play for whatever. He jumps up. So for you, I mean, you spent a career chasing quarterbacks, sacking quarterbacks, being a Hall of Fame player. When you watch Drew Lock, when you got to watch him in his 5 games last year, what did you see? What did you take away from that film?
He was one of those guys that I didn't think that he can play like he played. I'm being honest with you. Like, I didn't think that he was going to impact the team like he did. And you know how when the young guys, when they first come in, either they're going to be a bust or they're going to eventually, maybe become a good player, but not a great player. But when he came in and automatically, right, started scoring touchdowns, automatically, all the guys around him started picking up the pieces and wanted to jump on his bandwagon. That's what you want from a quarterback. And they started winning a lot more football games, once he came in there, and there was a spark that they needed. So now I feel like that's just going to carry over into the next season, actually this season. And that dude, I mean, he's a force to be reckoned with right now. And then they had a good draft. Come on now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, as a defensive guy, you endorse the clear attention to going out and getting all these offensive weapons and receivers and speed. As a defensive guy, you endorse what they did?
I do, because I remember when I got released by the Dallas Cowboys, I knew that coming in with Demaryius Thomas and Peyton Manning, just to name a few, and, Julius Thomas, it was one of those things where if you're going to give me 40 points a game, I get to rush the passer. That's what I enjoy doing. I don't have to sit back now and, play 90 plays and stop the run for 50 of them. I got to play 45 plays, and half of them going to be third down where I can go and wreak some havoc on the quarterback. So with them going to get a lot more of these offensive guys, especially with Sutton, them being able to light up the scoreboard, going and getting some guards, some centers and stuff, some guys that can, play and block for Luck. I think that, that was something that if you didn't go defense, first of all, I'm going to say always defense wins championships. You got a couple guys on defense. We were great last season. So let's go get some offensive guys so now we can put some points on the board so we really can get some things done.
DeMarcus, how frustrating is that as a defensive player to have an offense that hey guys, if we don't turn this opponent's offense over 3 or 4 times and we don't give some short fields, if we don't do those things, we can even play well. But if we don't create opportunities for our offense, we're only going to score 17 points a game. How frustrating is that as a defensive player, knowing that that's kind of the standard that you have to go in and play a game from?
It's a challenge. To think about, all right, well, then we're probably going to score about 20 points a game. We're going to have a lot more, field awareness, where the ball is. We got to play the chess match the whole game instead of having the mentality that, okay, we're going to score about 25 to 27 points a game. We're going to score half of them in the first half. And then after that, I'm just going to let the dogs loose. And we're going to really just get after them. And then the offense, they'll still be aggressive, but then they start controlling the clock. So you get to a point to where you start controlling the game. If they were scoring points like that, but going into with that mentality of, oh man, we're only going to get 10 to 17 points, that's hard. Knowing that I'm probably going to play about 70 plays this game. And the offense is not going to be that effective. And after a while, it wears on you during the season because the season wears on you, which you all know that. And playing 70, 80 plays a game, you get really tired out there. But, I think that's going to change here.
Spending time here with DeMarcus Ware. Memorial Day, of course, is coming up, and you're working along with USAA with a really cool effort to help remember our veterans. Tell us a little bit about it.
You know what, man? Just teaming up with USAA, me being up there in Denver, doing a lot of stuff with the Air Force and the Army, right? And just the reason why people have given their lives, the brave have given their lives for us to have the freedoms that we have right now, and just really commemorating this Memorial Day, especially with COVID-19. You got to think about COVID-19. Can't nobody get out now and learn as much as they need to about Memorial Day. So USAA is doing it and giving them a platform where they can go to poppyinmemory.com and learn more about the military conflicts since World War One. Right. Also dedicate, which I have on now, a digital poppy for the fallen military members. But also, we want to try to create some type of conversation around all of this, around social media, because everybody can get involved in that way, and they can hashtag honor through action when they're talking about it, to really just raise awareness for this, because the military has been big for me, especially the Air Force. And me working up there, you have seen me do a lot of just military efforts, because this is the reason why we're free now, because they've been brave and given their lives. So this is a great opportunity, and it hits home, hits the heart for me, and just remembering just the fallen ones for sure.
Yeah, no question about it. DeMarcus, you're the best, man. We really appreciate you. Thank you so much for swinging on by.
All right, thank you all so much.
There he is, the great DeMarcus Ware. And by the way, you may be curious, what does poppy mean in terms of what DeMarcus is doing along with USAA for Memorial Day. Since World War I, the poppy flower has been a symbol of remembrance for the ultimate sacrifice made by more than 645,000 heroic men and women. It's Poppy in Memory, POPPY, poppyinmemory.com.